And welcome back to the Daily Wrap. It is, of course, potluck time. This is the part of the show where we go around the table and share our favorite stories of the day. And tonight, we do that with our own Heather Hansen. What did you bring us, Heather?
So the LA Times reported this weekend that, back in January, President Obama passed some executive actions to help with gun control. And one of the things that he did was try to improve background checks. And as a result of that now, Social Security beneficiaries may be losing their ability to buy guns based on whether or not they have impaired mental capacity. That has not been defined. It has not been adjudicated, and yet it seems as though, similar to what has happened with the VA in the past, if someone has been found mentally incompetent, that could just be as simple as being unable to balance their checkbook, they will now no longer have the right to get guns. This violates the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. It is the most ridiculous thing I have heard of. It is pending in the courts now with regard to the veterans, but the idea that Social Security beneficiaries, millions of people, may now lose their right to have guns based on no adjudication and some random person saying that they're mentally incapacitated is baffling to me.
Well, that's the challenge. Keeping guns out of people's hands when they can't function makes sense. But let's be clear, when the VA does this, medical professionals supervise this with legal guidance. When the Social Security people would do it, it's basically, can you balance your checkbook? If you can't balance your checkbook, you can't own a gun. That's crazy. That's actually the craziness here, is who's going to give the test? What is the test based on? And is there any evidence that the criteria the Social Security Administration would use would correlate to greater gun safety? If they can prove all that, then maybe we go there. But until they do, it doesn't make sense.
But to me, even the VA is the problem, because they don't allow them to adjudicate it. They just take away your ability, your Second Amendment rights, without any due process, no ability to have a lawyer. You're sometimes appointed someone from within the VA administration. There are actually lawsuits pending about this, but it takes a long time. And in the meantime, these people are not having their rights. It is absolutely beyond my comprehension, and I wish more people were talking about it.
I got to tell you, I'm not the biggest fan of guns in the world, but I have to agree with you both. I really do. You've got people who are not trained to make these kinds of calls, sitting in these positions over at Social Security. They can't be the people to make these decisions. The other issue, too, is, well, I don't think anybody who does have serious mental competency issues should have a gun. I think we can all agree on that. It does have to be a doctor, and there does have to be somebody representing that person if they wish to have a gun.
That's right.
This is the way we do things in this country, and we don't vary it simply because it's convenient.
I rarely go down the angry road on this show, but if this is our priority, while our military people on bases and at recruitment centers are not armed, that's screwed up.
I hear that.
It's screwed up. And I never play the outrage card, but come on, man. Do an executive order right now. Have our military, they're sitting ducks.
We don't even need an executive order
to
do that. No. Just like
military policy can come from on top.
And I think we all agree with you. I know I do. So
good. You agree with me on Kasich on that issue.
Good night. Get carried away on the Kasich thing. I like him. I like him too. He's doing it.
I will also add, real quick, 10 seconds. Giving clerks control over people's Second Amendment rights is the worst way to actually move forward on meaningful gun control.
Unless they're Wawa clerks. That's where Heather
Wawa. All right. Enough of that. Enough of that. We all agree. What fun is it anymore? I mean, come on. All right, let's get to the next part that's fun, because we know you all like to hear our viewer comments. Here's one from Vernon Mullet. We cannot trust Iran. The deal, I don't know if I can say sucks on TV, so I won't say it. The Iran leaders are liars, just as Obama. You guys think this is the prevailing point of view out there?
Well, what's interesting to me is Iran, they're not liars. They've always said they want nuclear weapons. They still say they want nuclear weapons. I would actually prefer them to be liars. We might be able to deal with them. I'm more afraid of the fact that they are unashamedly pursuing what they've always said they want to pursue.
Well, another comment from Robert LaCase. We've heard from Robert before, I think, haven't we?
We have, yes.
We have. Mr. President. Apparently he thinks he's speaking to the White House. Mr. President, what is there about death to America that you do not understand? No deal with Iran. The Democrats must do the right thing for America and stop this deal. which raises the question, is that possible? We know, I think, that both houses of Congress are going to vote against this deal, but then it's going to be subjected to a presidential veto, and then the question becomes, can they overcome the veto? What do you think?
I don't think they can. I think that the politics just aren't going to make it happen.
I thought no, sat down with someone who briefs me on this stuff yesterday. They are biased, but they said they think they have the votes.
I think it's possible. Joe, do you want to weigh in on that real quickly?
Well, after what Brad said, it's hard to argue with that. And even if they
think-
don't symbolically, they could say that at least we opposed it, but see what the president did. He's hungry for a legacy.
I don't think they have the votes yet. I think the votes could be gotten. This is not over, folks. And from Earl Hendricks, Trump is right. McCain is no war hero. Anybody here want to agree with him?
He could have got out of that Hanoi Hilton, and he said, you know what, I'm staying. No, please stop it.
I
Anybody
think
who says
all,
that, shut up. Angry conscience back.
Yeah.
He's right. What he said.
Yeah, I mean, how can you
disagree.
call anybody who fights for our country and not call them a hero? It just doesn't make any sense. All right, coming up next, it is time for Yay or Nay. This is, of course, the Daily Wrap right here on Newsmax TV.